Hi, my name is Autumn Payne, and I'm speaking today again with Stephen Bryant Walker. He's a therapist at Middle Way Health, and he's a Buddhist teacher. And we are doing a mental health interview again today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for doing this.
Yes, so much fun. So, today I wanted to talk about scheduling your self care and the importance of making it a regular practice that you do.
Okay.
And to start off this conversation, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Dalai Lama and his schedule, which
Okay.
is published online, actually. I thought that was very interesting that you can actually see what he does. Now, I'll preface this by saying that this doesn't look anything like my life or anyone else's life that I know. Um, but I think it's very fascinating to take a look at. So he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he starts with 2 hours of personal care and meditations. Then he goes for a walk for 30 minutes. And then he has breakfast for 30 minutes and listens to the news on the radio. And then for 3 hours, he has his morning meditations. And then he has 2 hours from 9 to 11:30 of study. Then he has 3 hours of office work time per day.
Mhm.
Um, then he has his evening tea, more meditation, and then he goes to bed at 7. So he's getting his 8 hours of sleep. He's getting his daily walk. He's got his short period for news. He's got 3 hours of work, and the rest is essentially self care.
Mhm.
So, or at least what we would call self care in the United States. As a busy mother and a business owner, this is not something that's going to remotely look like something that I do, but I think it's very interesting to notice that one of the world's uh, premier spiritual and thought leaders is spending this much time in self care a day. But you're running a business, you have a family, you're a spiritual leader as well. So I really wanted to hear today a little bit about what your routines are around self care. What does that look like on a daily basis?
Well, I'm getting up early also,
Nice.
somewhat similar to Dalai Lama, unless I'm sick. So, um, mostly combination. Yeah, I usually have 3 hours in the morning to do um, what people would call meditation, and that is study and also, uh, yoga, Buddhist yoga. So I've got my 3 hours, and then usually I'm here at Middle Way Health, and I take self care in between seeing people. And part of my self care is people because I enjoy um, the people in the office. So I, it then in the evening I'm going to do some, hopefully starting back to more of a sense of a workout also, maybe at the end of the day. I'm not doing the walks that I was doing before COVID, so that's something to get back into since I'm working by a park. But
Mhm.
I have to say, I don't. That would be maybe the Dalai Lama's kind of very personal day. I think
Mhm.
when he's teaching or um, traveling, he's not going to have that much time
Yeah,
to.
they did preface it by saying this is when he's not on his travel
Yeah,
schedule.
he's not. He hasn't been traveling that much, but
Mhm.
I don't know office work if that's when he's doing audiences or meeting with people. But
Yes, that 3 hours they say is a combination of working in his office and holding meetings with people and audiences. So, I just the ratio of self-care to, like, working with the outer world, to me, was fascinating to see.
yeah, it's probably he probably has more going on during the normal day, uh, but his early morning routine and breakfast, morning routine, evening routine probably stays somewhat the same, but I bet he has more office time um, than he'd like.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I don't
So
know, but
I've been
yeah,
sorry, excuse me. Go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've been researching lately the idea of productivity
Mm,
and how I might increase my productivity without spending more time working.
okay.
And part of it through my research I'm learning is awareness. So if you're aware of when you're more productive, when you're less productive and giving yourself those breaks, you can actually end up working less and achieving more when you're attuned to how you're doing basically. Is what I'm learning.
Right. So I try to do like one breath a minute mindfulness. So out of every minute, at least I'm aware of one kind of in and out breath, so I'm not continually thinking or talking all the time. And then at least have a 1 minute meditation every hour, in addition to my 3 hours in the morning and maybe a half an hour in the evening. So it
Wow.
is pacing during the day.
Wow. So what would that look like? So we've spent a lot of time together. You're meditating while we're talking, like during this interviewing?
Well, not doing silent meditation, obviously, but um, usually I have enough time for a little break, so that between sessions I'll always take a little bit of break, which most people don't see because the door's closed. So
Yeah.
sitting here breathing.
Yeah, I've started doing a little yoga breaks too, these little 5-minute stretches in between some
I know
meetings.
that's all you need sometimes. Don't let
Yeah.
things bunch up. So you can do a lot of meditation in the morning or evening, but it doesn't. Um, it's not good if you then try to jam the rest of the day. You always need these little mini breaks,
Mhm.
and you
I
actually become more productive, I believe.
without spending less time more time at your desk.
Right. So it's better to
I
get
love
out,
it.
walk around, or do a 1 minute meditation than just kind of work through lunch, that kind of style.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Do you have any advice for that afternoon slump?
Well, the slump's going to happen. So scheduling something where you don't have to be maybe totally on, or just giving yourself permission to go, well, this is where my body and mind are recalibrating.
Mm.
So it seems like for most people a natural biorhythm, so you don't
Mhm.
have to fight it. So you're just telling people, well, this is my kind of sleepy
Mhm.
this is my sleepy period, so this is how I'm going to move. Otherwise you try to override it, and that's not always good.
That's basically what the American thought process is,
Yeah,
right? Just power through, grab some coffee,
right.
just keep going, nose to the grindstone. But I'm starting to schedule my work day where I'm saying, well, those sort of menial tasks that don't require a lot of brain power, I'm going to put them in the afternoon. And then the really creative things, I'm going to put them in the morning because
That's
I'm
not a bad
more
idea.
alert.
We can be kind of creative when we're kind of tired.
I like the sound of that. That's
You're
interesting.
kind of tired in this cognitive way, other parts of the mind are going to kick in. So you
Hmm.
always identify with very verbal, quick, make decisions kind of mind. But that one's going to sleep a little bit, maybe during an afternoon siesta thing. But other imaginative sides are going to come up. So you can schedule things that are more right brain and imaginative. And you can just tell people, I'm paying attention, but even though I'm yawning.
I really like that, reframing that,
Yeah,
that
that's reframing it.
that slump, has its useful part to it. Not to make everything about productivity, but still, I like the idea of valuing it for what it is instead of trying to fight against it.
Yeah, so we're sleepy, but that does part of the brain or mind is sleepy, but not all of it is.
Hmm.
It's
I'll
pretty
have to ask myself next time what part is awake because I could not answer that at this very moment.
yeah, experiment.
The part that wants to take a nap is awake. Okay, so 3 hours in the morning. So it's not the Dalai Lama's 7 hours, but it's pretty close.
Uh, it'd be nice to have that, maybe that amount of time, but he's, well, I don't know. So this schedule is probably was made. Um, some of the schedule is public when 10 years ago or something. So um, it might be somewhat idealized. I, I would I would definitely think he's probably taking some naps during that time. So there's
Yeah, that's a good point. He's in his 80s, correct?
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
87 now. So maybe it's the meditation would include dream yoga.
Ah, yes. I like that. Dream yoga, which we still need to do a session on that at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
That's a
dream
good that's a good closer.
yoga.
Okay, well, thank you. This conversation was really valuable to
Oh,
me
good.
today, and I hope everyone else who sees it feels the same. So, thanks again for your insight, and we'll see you next
Yeah.
time.
All right. Ciao. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.